Hello and welcome to the Afridominion show. My name is Freeman Singirankabo, and thank you so much for joining us for our most important debut show for this year 2022, and that's none other than our new and brand new show, Afridominion show. We want to thank first and foremost our HMG network and affiliates for having sponsored this program, and we want to also say to all of you viewers all across the world to please support us, especially if you found this brand new show helpful and added value to your everyday life. So first and foremost, what is Afridominion show? What is even the word Afridominion? So Afridominion is an idea that inspires, advocates, and encourages a complete taking back of Africa dominion by its sons, daughters, and descendants for the interest of African people primarily and the rest of the world afterwards. So exactly, this may sound like it's like it's a big word or something really humongous and very bold. It is very bold. However, we also want to break it down in a such way that it actually becomes more and more you can actually see yourself in it. And that's why I want to ensure that as we define and talk about this brand new show, all of you guys are quite aware of what's happening and why it is so important. So what does this mean exactly, Afridominion, in just the words that you can actually identify yourself with every single day? This means that we are actually inspiring, advocating, encouraging all of you brothers and sisters, kings and queens all over the world, who are sons, daughters, and descendants of African, to take back charge, to take charge of your own lives, to take charge of our continent and the interest of our own people primarily, especially those of our own people who are super voiceless, who have literally no voice right at this moment. I know it is quite challenging, especially that we all have all kinds of different lives that we run each and every one of our days. However, we do believe that this is our time. This is our time that we are going to get this done. This also means that we are taking back full responsibility of our lives instead of leaving it to the hands of other stakeholders who want to run our lives as it has been day to day in so many various places throughout the world, especially for the Africans and the African descendants. And I just want to make it clear, this is not discrimination, ladies and gentlemen. This is simply us being able to take responsibilities of our own lives and saying, hey, we know you mean well, but we want to take the front seat in the affairs of our everyday lives. It also means that we are going to carefully study, review, identify, work hard, even fight for the interest of our own people. We are going to unashamedly do that. And all is going to be pretty much in the interest of all our families, all our communities, even the whole entire continent at large. We mean this by any way you can slice it, any way you can think of it. And we are always, always, always going to make sure that you understand. This also means, I took some notes so that I don't get to forget. It also means that we are done sitting by and watch others define and direct our lives every single day for their own interest primarily instead of ours. This is not harsh, guys. If we put it in a context that's a bit more understanding to most of you, Africa is one of the richest continents in the whole entire world. But African people are among the most poorest people all over the continent, even all over the world. Most of them are very poor. How can you have the richest of the richest in the whole world, but become the poorest of the poorest of the poorest? Something is wrong and something must be done. And that's the spirit by which we are telling you, we are coming today and saying enough is enough. We want to take charge. We want to take the front seat. We want to do whatever it is that we have to do to make this work for the interest of our own families, our own communities, even the continent. So that's why I was saying that this is not discrimination. This is simply taking back charge, taking back responsibilities of our own lives. This also means that we are going to be involved in day-to-day operation, management of all the resources of Africa. We're not going to outsource this work for other people. We are literally now going to do that. Now, this may sound like it's something really huge. For most of you, might be like, this is just another kid. We have heard this over and over and over and over again. But how can you really eat such an elephant? Ladies and gentlemen, even an elephant can be eaten up, as big as it is. You just gotta have a spirit of a lion. And we are kings and queens. We are lions. That's who you are within you. You may be hanging out with the sheep day after day after day, but your true self is a lion deep within you. So you gotta wake up that giant lion within you, that spirit of a lion within you. And you gotta do what you have to do. Now, I did mention earlier that this is an idea that inspires, advocates, and encourages a complete taking back of African dominion, one country at a time, because Africa is huge. So I'm not just going to say, hey, let's take over, let's take back. It's just not doable. But if we slice it in countries, and within those countries, slice it to region until you are more comfortable with your own affairs in your little local communities. Be accountable. Roll your sleeves and get busy, working and effective. Then we can actually see the fruits of what we're talking about right now. So this show, as you are going to be expecting, is going to be touching on all these viewpoints. We have plenty of the things we want to do. Plenty. And that's why I want to invite all of you. We are just starting. We're launching the program. So most of the things are still rolling right now as we speak, but I assure you, all the pieces that are going to be helping us to get this job done, to see this through, you will be seeing it. Now, with that in mind, I want you to know that for the information and everything related to this program in particular, and the action plans, the projects, the things that we are going to be involved in, I want to ask of you and welcome you to check it out on the website, Afridominion.com. Afridominion.com. I do believe that the texts are putting the information right underneath there. Check it out over there. Also, the email that we are going to be using for this project is going to be info@afridominion.com. info@afridominion.com. But I do understand that not all the details are there as yet. However, that would be the official website where you can actually follow the programs, follow the projects, follow everything related to Afridominion, to taking back charge, that leadership responsibility, that accountability. All of that, you are going to find it there. And I want to welcome and encourage all of you to go there and check it out. Now, with this particular show, the Afridominion show, we literally are going to ensure that we touch bases on many, many themes related to those things we have talked about. Now, the main themes we have extracted out of so many projects that we are going to be working on are as follows. We are going to focus on refugees. We have so many refugees throughout Africa, African refugees and stateless persons. So one of the themes we are going to be talking about, it will be how to eradicate refugees and stateless persons conditions throughout Africa and wherever sons, daughters, and African descendants are found globally. We are going to literally investigate, study that, review that, and figure out what can we do, what type of action plan can we take so that refugees throughout Africa and even all over the world, sons and daughters and African descendants, that you can actually stop being refugees. Nobody wants to be a refugee. At least I don't want to be a refugee. And I'm quite sure for those of you who have never been refugees, it is quite a horrific life to live. You have no rights. You have no privileges, except the few privileges given to you by the United Nations and the host country that has taken you in. You get pimped under tables. Your life is almost worthless. Now, when you're lucky, the host countries may actually have mechanism and ways that you can transition to becoming a legal resident for that in that particular host country. Even sometimes become a citizen. However, in many countries, refugees are refugees for life. We will literally bring some of those stories. You'll get to find out about them. And us, as sons, daughters, and African descendants, we want to say enough is enough to refugees and stateless person wandering all over Africa, wandering all over the world. Because you're running after something or you're running from something. We want to say enough is enough with that. Another theme we are going to be talking about is huge, the Constitution, the law, the policies of which most of these African countries are actually run by. African countries have some of the most beautifully written constitutions throughout this whole world. However, these constitutions are just papers. The leadership, most of the governments do not follow the constitutions. They have laws that do not actually look after the best interest of the people, of the citizens. They have policies, most of the policies of which are literally not looking after the very best interest of the locals, of the citizens primarily. And we want to make sure that we change that. And so the theme of Constitution, law, and policies is going to literally extract. We will be pickpocketing. We will be examining Constitution from various African countries, laws and policies that they have in place, and see how they benefit the locals, or see how they are actually taking away and stealing away from the locals. Another one of the themes that we are going to be talking about, of bringing you, it is our testimonies. As most of you have seen, HMG Network and most of the affiliates, they have been running various testimonies, African testimonies. Some of the most horrific stories that you have yet to hear, all within Africa. However, because of the mainstream medias throughout the world are not interested, especially if they talk about, and whatever it is that the corporates behind these giant media, if the interest that they're seeking within Africa is disrupted, then you would never hear of those stories. So here at the Afridominion show, we are going to talk about those testimonies throughout Africa. And we want to encourage you to be the one writing your own testimonies, to be the one writing your own history, your own way, based on the way you're living it, not based on the way other stakeholders have decided to tell your story. Again, we will be slicing countries by country, regions by regions, small local communities, so that you can actually see yourself in that testimony, in that story, your own story. Gone are the days where we would leave it up to someone else to tell your story. We will not allow that anymore, guys. Because throughout the history, look at how many centuries Africa is rich in resources, but the spirits of the people, the lifestyle of the people, most of the people, it is horrific. And we, sons and daughters and descendants of Africa, we want to change that. So I welcome all of you, kings and queens all over the world, to come through. Let's roll the sleeves and let's get busy. Let's get busy. Tell our own stories, our own way. Write books of your own stories, of your own communities, of your own countries. Uncensored, exactly how it is. We want to make sure that if your interest, if your family's interest, your community interest, your region interest, even your country, if the interest is not primarily for its citizens, then we want you to change that. We want to inspire you. We want you to take charge of that. It makes no sense if I have $1 billion in my bank account and I have a family, however, my kids, my brothers and sisters, my siblings, my immediate family, if they cannot take advantage of of that money, and I let someone else handle the money, and let someone else use that money, except my own family, and that a shame. And that's what we want to change in this show. We want to inspire you to be the manager, to take back the resources, take back the management, take back the dominion of the resources of your own countries, of your own region, of your own community, of your family, for your interests primarily. There is plenty of resources within Africa. We want it to benefit Africans and then the rest of the world. Not the rest of the world first and then African for the left of us. We want to change that narrative. If you're on board with that, welcome to Afridominion. Another one of the themes we are going to be talking about is the spirit of dominion. You notice I'm literally using the word dominion so much. Dominion is a loaded word. Is a loaded word. And it's very important that you get to know what that word means. The meaning of the word dominion. So the spirit of dominion is another one of those spirit within you. The same way I say that deep within you, you are a lion. You have a lion spirit. However, you have been given the sheep spirit to run your everyday life. Our wise men have said that a group of lions led by a sheep would never beat a group of sheep led by a lion. You may wonder why. And we will be talking about that and much more. If deep within you, you know that you have a spirit of a lion, if you know within you that there's something burning inside of you, something that you just can't explain, something that just make you want to scream your life out, that's that spirit of dominion. That's that spirit of a lion within you. That's looking to wake up. That's looking for the environment to flourish and to permit you to bring out the best gifts from within you. You cannot get your best gifts out of yourselves if you do not become who you are. And that's why here on the Afridominion show, we are going to talk about it all uncensored. And this does not mean that we are going to be disrespectful, but we are going to speak the truth for what it is. One of our hallmarks for the show is going to be the truth, the love, and the trust. We will speak truthfully, and we will speak with love, and we will speak with trust. Those are the words that we no longer value today. Because you see lies all over every single day. We spin lies. We get fed lies. You see hate instead of love. You see distrust amongst the people instead of trust. We want to make sure that we restore all of that from deep within you. So the theme of the spirit of dominion is going to be one of the themes that most of you who are leaders, you literally need to take some time and figure out what type of leader are you. Are you the type of leader who's actually sinking your people? Or are you the type of leader who's building your people? And we want to make sure that we get the type of leaders who are going to actually build our communities, build our families. Last but not least, one of the last themes that we are going to be talking about, it's the current events. We have so many things happening every single day. We want to make sure that we zero in on what's really important amongst the current events and actually take action or make recommendations of what it is that we are going to do as action plans right behind it. This is what you are going to be expecting from this brand new show, Afridominion. Now, I know that it is quite difficult for most of you Africans, especially, to come out and speak in person, to come out and speak up. Because most of you are refugees, most of you are hiding, most of you have things happening in your lives. That speaking up in the open, it's something that you don't do. And most of you have forgotten what it is to fight together, to fight for the cause of the most people, of your own people as a group. We are so accustomed to just fighting for your own direct interest, personal interest instead of corporate interest. We want to make sure that we change that spirit. We want to make sure that we seek out the best interests of the corporate, of our groups, of our families, of our communities. Because if we do seek those interests primarily, even the personal interests will inevitably be taken care of. We have so much going on in Africa today. We have so much going on amongst us sons and daughters and descendants of Africa throughout the world. We want to make sure that we have a saying in our everyday lives, regardless of where you are throughout the world. Understand that it is up to you. It is up to you to decide what type of life you want to live. It is up to you. This is a brand new year, 2022. And most of you are just starting the new year and you have no direction whatsoever. And you have no idea where you're headed in life. You're on cruise control because you got a job, you got things that they have already told you you must do from Monday through Sunday. Actually, more like Monday through Saturday for some of you. On Sunday, it's an interruption, a small break. But if you have like 2 or 3 jobs, you're just like a horse walking 24/7. Don't just work for the sake of working. Work with a purpose. What's your purpose in life? What is your purpose in life? Be driven by your purpose. Be driven by your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, you certainly aren't going to use your time wisely. Inevitably, someone else is going to tell you what to do. Someone else is going to give you an agenda. Someone else is going to show you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And at that point, you are going to forfeit the best gifts that you were born with. Remember, your gifts will open doors for you any way that you so desire throughout this world. Anywhere. But you must get to know who you are first. You must get to know who you are first. And that's why we want you to be able to interrupt your routine. Have a sense of purpose. Have a sense of urgency when it comes to your life. When it comes to the desires within your heart. The desires for yourselves, the desires for your family, the desires for your community, even your country. That's why we have decided that enough is enough to just be a bystander. To just sit down and watch everything being done that you don't even like, that you don't even want. But because you're just too lazy to do something about it, it keeps on happening. No changes comes that benefits you. Believe it or not, change is inevitable. Change is guaranteed. But what type of change are you actually receiving? I submit to you that even though change is inevitable, you can actually plan change. You can plan and prepare for change. You can decide what it is that you want to go after. And when change arrives, it doesn't surprise you. It doesn't harm you. It finds you prepared. So we want to make sure that if you're not empowered, if you're not ready to wrestle with the change as it comes, if you're not ready to even direct the change as it comes, learn how to do that. You need not be a doctor. You need not be a master holders or some sort of degrees that we have throughout. Get rid of those titles. These titles are nothing more than titles. I submit to you, the birds never had to go to university to fly. Fishes have never went to any university to learn how to swim. They naturally swim. If you take a look at trees around the whole entire planet, not one single tree has ever gone to any agriculture university and get a degree in tree planting, tree growing. A tree naturally grows. Naturally, it grows. So I submit to you, deep within you, you have gifts. These gifts are just waiting on you to waken them up. These gifts will actually grow, inevitable, if you so choose to allow them to grow. We go to universities, we go to different schools, most of the time to learn other people's gifts, not your own gifts. It's about time that you get to be in touch with yourselves. Go back within you, figure out, who are you? Who are you? What are the gifts within you? What do you have within you that we can use? These gifts are going to be for us to use, not for you to use, for us to use. The same way a tree, when it has fruits, a tree never eats its own fruits. We go to that tree and we get that fruit, especially if it's a yummy fruit. So we want to intentionally grow our own gifts. Become fruits to others. Become a blessing to the world. Become a blessing to your own continent. Become a blessing to your community. Become a blessing to your family. If you help your community, if you help your country, if you help your continent, inevitably, everything else you want as well, you will have. That's just the rules of the nature. These are natural laws. You don't have to be a black person, a white person, a Chinese, or whatever it is that you may be to do that. Naturally, that works. It's a natural law. So let's learn how to reopen ourselves back to our true selves. Take back control of your own lives. Take back control of your dominion. You are kings and queens in this on this planet Earth. You are kings and queens. That's who you are. Yet you have been made presidents, prime ministers, ministers this and minister that, and you've lost yourselves. So we want you to bring back the true self that you are. Come back to the senses of your true self. Fly just like a bird flies. Swim just like a fish swims. If you are yourselves, nothing will be hard to do as you know it. Nothing will be hard to do as you know it if you become yourselves. But anytime you want to become someone that you're not, anytime you're learning to become somebody else, that struggle will never stop in life. That struggle will always be there because you're just being someone that you're not supposed to be. So dear queens, dear kings all over the world, come back and take your own positions. Come back and assume the responsibilities that you're supposed to have naturally. Because if you fail to do that, you will also forfeit the gifts from within you. Someone else is going to continue to run your lives the same way it's being run to most of you. But we want to say enough is enough. It's possible, guys. It is possible. But you have to take action. You have to decide to take action. I know some of you might be scared, especially those of you who will be listening to us and they're going to be like, oh, these kids, they want to be the Lumumbas, they want to become the Thomas Sankaras, they want to become, they want to take back. They want to take back Africa. They want to take back their own land. They want to take back their own resources. Are they crazy? We are that crazy, actually. Gone are the days where you become torpedoed, you become assassinated, even though it's not impossible. But in 2022, I submit to you that you would not see the changes you wish to have if you do not act in the ways you've never acted before. If you want freedom, you're going to have to do the things you've never done to reclaim your freedom. That's just the natural law. But the beauty of it all, if you want it, you were born with it. If you want it, you were born with it. All of you. No exceptions. So for those of you who pity yourselves every single day, or who have been made to feel pity for yourselves, I submit to you that deep within you, it's an amazing person. The kindest person, the smartest person that they've ever been. There's only one of you. There's only one of me in this whole world. But because of being busy doing other people's stuff, being busy want to be other people, you keep on keeping yourselves from coming out. You will never get to be acquainted with yourself. You will never get to meet you. But you meet a version of so many other people that they have been teaching you, that they have been encouraging you to become. Here we want to say, who are you? Become yourself. Become yourself. If you become yourself, everything around you will submit to you as kings and queens. If you become yourself, you won't have to work for water, for food, for the things that stresses you, for all these things of which are stressing you every single day. You would not have to work for them. They will work for you. Give it a try. Give it a try. I dare you. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. We know that it rains every single day, but it doesn't rain always. The wise people, the wise men says that there is time for everything. Actually, there is a season for everything and a time for every purpose. I believe that's how it's written in the greatest book. So if there is season for everything and a time for every purpose, what is your purpose? Do you actually know your season? Are you prepared to handle your season? Are you just going to die with the gifts from within you, and you're going to go back without actually allowing us to test your gifts, your fruits? Or you're going to decide to actually figure out, learn who you are, and become what you're supposed to be, and bring the gifts that you have from within you to all of us to solve so many different situations, so many different problems that we have today. We want to make sure that before we check out of this world, we are empty. We are empty. There's one of the greatest mentor who's ever lived. May he rest in peace. Papa Miles Monroe. If you guys don't know him, check him out. He's one of the most amazing individuals that's ever walked on this planet. They used to call him Mr. Purpose. Mr. Purpose. He would constantly tell you, what is your purpose? Who are you? Where do you come from? Why are you here? What are you going to do? Where is your destination? Where are you headed? And he will teach that those 5 things They drive each and every one of our lives every single day. Who you are, where you come from, why you're here, what you're going to do, and your destination. So I submit to you that those 5 questions also do dictate the things you do every day. How you spend your time, the choices you make in life every single day, how you live and how you die. So decide in this year 2022 to discover who you are, to be yourself, not the kind of person, not the people that the different versions of the people that they have been giving you for so many years. I want to be the best version of myself, not the best version that they want me to become. No, the best version of me. And that's my desire for you. That's my prayer for you, that you also become the best version of yourself. That you go deeper within you. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Find out the gifts that you were born with. Nurture them. Then serve them to us. They will make room for you. They will give you everything that you have ever desired in life. But you have to decide to want to be you. You have to decide to become yourself. Not the type of person or the people they've made you become. So these are the things we are going to be talking about. So you are in for a treat, I may add. So every day from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, from 12 o'clock to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, Washington, D.C. time, we will be talking about this uncensored. We want to be on fire for the truth, for the love, and for the trust. If you're on board with it, come and hang with us. In fact, I encourage all of you. I'm not just asking you. I encourage you to find out who you are. Last but not the least, in this show, we are going to interact with all of you. Like I said, when I started, I said that most of you Africans or African descendants, even friends of Africa, we're not discriminating here. It's just that we are focusing on Africans and the descendant of Africa. Why? Because right now we want to change the conditions throughout the entire Africa. We want to change the way people are living and change them for the better. Because we can. We just don't have the heart for it, the time for it, and the desire to do it. So like I was saying, we're also going to have interaction, which means every day during the live broadcast, we can invite each and every one of you in the studio. We will slice the time into half. Half of the time we will do presentation, another half will be interaction with you all. And we will have a 90 minutes total every single day, Monday through Friday. So how do you get to the Zoom? Those of you watching via social media in particular, either YouTube or Facebook, there is a link. There is a Zoom link right underneath there in the description. If you go there and you click on it, that Zoom link will allow you to come and actually hang with us and actually come in the studio. And when you're there, or once you arrive there, then you can actually interact with us in real time. And we would love very much that you come and interact. You come and become fruitful. You come and become a blessing to us. Become a blessing to the rest of the world. But we want to make sure that we start with our own people. Again, this is not discriminating. It's to make sure that if I'm going to sell water, I know how it tastes like. They always say that be afraid of a salesman who sell you a product that he or she never uses. So today, if you want the best dominion, we want to start it from our own homes, our own families, our own communities, and our own countries. Are we together? And I submit to you that one way or the other, it's going to get done. This is our season. We are going to make it happen. We are living in the most exciting time of our lives, where all the things that we do, actually it's not just this time only. Every single day is an opportunity. We live today, we're living today because the life that we are living today is only meant for this season. Everything we're doing, it's only there for a time frame. Make sure that the time that you are living is meaningful. Make sure that the time that you are living is meaningful. Intentionally decide to do the right thing, not just the good thing, the right thing. Intentionally decide to uplift your family, to uplift your community, to uplift your country and your continent. So whatever we gotta do, we gotta do. I want to invite all of you. I want to invite you all. Come and check us out. Without forgetting, actually, I almost forgotten. We also have a group on Telegram. If you go on Afri.com, on Afri, literally, if you go to Afridominion.com, right underneath of it, you can reach us via Facebook, YouTube, Twitters, and so on. However, there is a Telegram group that we would love for you to join. We want to get to know you. We want to be involved in what you're doing so that those projects, remember the elephant? If you got an elephant in your life, call us out so we can help you slice it until you can actually chew it. Have enough small pieces that you can actually chew so that it doesn't get stuck in your throat. So come and join us. Find the group. Welcome to the group. There are so many other kings and queens within the group. Come and find out who they are. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you want something different in your life, you're going to have to do something different that you've never done in order for you to be able to get it. So again, if I go back to the themes of the conversation we are going to be having, we want to talk about the eradication of refugees and stateless person conditions throughout Africa. And then the world. Everything we want to do it for ourselves first, and then help the rest of the world to fight it as well. So we're not discriminating. We just want to start with our own families, our own communities, and so on. And nothing wrong with that. So if you know you are a refugee, stuck somewhere in Africa, stuck somewhere around the world, make sure that on Mondays you come and you turn in. Make sure that we can actually speak on your behalf. There are many people, many organizations that can actually link up with you and help change your condition. If you are a stateless person, meaning you actually don't have any papers, you have fled your country, you're running God knows where every single day, try to protect yourself. If you have that type of life, tune in on Mondays because we want you to live that kind of life. Especially if you're a son or daughter or descendant of an African man or woman. You are so rich in your own homeland. You shouldn't be docking outside of Africa, looking for a different life when you have left the beautiful, the most amazing life at home? Deal with the conditions of which are making you become a refugee. Deal with the conditions of which are making you become a stateless person. That's why on Mondays we want you to come in and talk about it. On Tuesday, Constitution, law, and policies. These are big words. Before I never knew even what the word Constitution even meant. And I would submit to you that most of you don't even know what that word means, which is so sad. Law and policies. Every single country is ran by a constitution as the supreme law. And then you've got these little laws afterwards. And then you've got policies. These are the ways or the mechanisms that manages the resources of a country, the resource of organizations, people, communities, and so on. What's ruling you? What type of constitution do you live under? What kind of laws? What kind of policies are you actually living under? Did you make up those policies? Do you know how those policies came to be? Tune in on Tuesdays for those kind of conversation. Again, one country at a time. So for instance, I was born in Rwanda. I live in the United States right now for so many years. I want to be able to break down the Constitution of Rwanda and understand it. I've been reading the same way I've read the Constitution here in the United States. I do my best to try to learn the things taking place here, so I know what type of life that I should be having. So I know how my gifts can come out based on how I'm living. So we also want to be able to dissect the constitutions of African countries, the laws, the policies, and see if they really are there for the best interest of African people and African descendants, or if they are there for the interests of other people outside. And if it is in fact that they are there for other people outside, we want to change that. We unapologetically want to change that. Why? Because it's our lives. It's your life, it's my life. So tune in on that Tuesday. Wednesday, testimonies, history telling, and all that good stuff. Right now, I submit to you that if you go to most of the libraries, especially like, let's say here in the United States, because that's where I am. If you go to the libraries and go find out a book written 1,000 years from now about any African community, empires, and so on, you'll be shocked. You're not going to find any. But we all know that Africa was not, has been there for generations and generations, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Why is it that you cannot find testimonies, history, uncensored history of Africa and African people? Why is it that you have a Black History Month? A Black History Month. Listen to that. A Black History Month. 1 month in 12 months where you get to learn a history. And that is a selected history. A cherry-picked history. Cherry-picked stories. We want to change that. We want the full story, the full history of Africa and African people and African descendants. All of it. Because that's who you are. That's who I am. The quicker you accept that, the quicker you make peace with that, the quicker you become unashamed of being an African, unashamed of being an African descendant, the more sweet and sweeter you are going to enjoy the gifts from within. Inevitably, they are going to come out. Thursday is the spirit of dominion. Like I said, I am a king. I was born a king. And I'm not just impressing you. That's the truth. And most of you know that, but you think it's just a swag. It's like a word. You were born with the mandate to dominate this whole entire planet. You have a mandate to dominate, to manage the resources of your continent, the resources of your countries, the resources of your region, the resources of your families. That's why you are a king and you are a queen. You're supposed to have sovereignty over yourself and yourselves. You're supposed to be independent in your own thinking as kings and queens. The spirit of dominion is within you. You were born with it. But most of us don't use it. We don't even know what that is. And we want to change that. We want to change that. Again, for the interest of our people, our families, our communities, our countries, and the rest of the world. Again, I've never seen a bird that tries to be a fish. A dog is always a dog. You don't see a dog that tries to be a lion or something else that it's not. So just choose to become you. Choose to be yourselves. If you're a lion, don't try to be a sheep. Embrace being a lion. And so, on Thursdays, the spirit of dominion. All those of you who know that something huge within you is just tormenting you, come out and figure out what it is. Come join us. Let's wake it up together. Be the lion that you can be. And apologize to no one for being a lion. If you're a lion, you're a lion. Be happy being a lion. And behave and act accordingly. On Fridays, we will talk about what's been happening throughout. The issues that are pressing to you, to your families, to your communities, and so on. We'll talk about that on Fridays. Again, bring your A game. Come and learn how to speak. Learn how to speak for yourselves. Learn how to advocate for your families, your communities, your regions, and your country, and your countries. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed. Do it for you. Do it for your families. Do it for your communities. Do it for your country and do it for your continent. That's what we're going to be doing Mondays through Fridays. So I think I've spoken a whole lot of it. And I just want to let you know that we are super excited for this program. It's taken so long for us to get here. It's taken so long. However, we are here to stay. If you feel that something must happen to you, that something has to change, check us out on Afridominion.com. Connect with us, shoot us an email, WhatsApp us, or send us a signal, Insta Messenger or something like that. Let's link up together. Let's link up together. Let's do projects together. Whatever it is that you want to do, come and find other kings and queens. We will help you do it. Let's take back our lives. Let's take back our lives. Take responsibility of your life. And as a collective, let's take the responsibilities of everything that we must do every single day. And do not leave it to others. Because if you do leave it to them, they will surely take it. But they will do it in a way that best that basically in a way that actually looks after the best interest of what they want, not your best interest. That's why it's critical that you take the responsibilities of your own lives. I, for one, I want to take responsibility for my own life. And the responsibilities of other things that I might do every single day. I'm learning to do that. Some days it sucks to be who you are. Some days you just don't want to wake up. Some days you don't want to be bothered. But life continues every single day. And that's why together we want to make sure that in those days where you feel you're just weak, you don't want to do nothing, you link up with another king or queen, they wake you up, they uplift you. They say, hey, don't worry, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And you keep on moving, and you keep on moving. So we're not going to stop. We are not going to stop. We just want to put a notice out there also. A whole lot is going to be changing for the continent of Africa. One country at a time. One region at a time. One community at a time. Be the change you want to see in your own community. Don't wait for me. Don't wait for somebody else to come and do it for you. Seek help. Knock on those doors. Ask questions. Again, the wise man has said, if you seek, you shall find. If you ask, you will receive. And if you knock on any door, eventually that door gets to be answered and it gets to be opened. So do your own part, and our Creator is going to do the rest. That's all you are being asked to do. Know who you are and be in the right position. Everything else you so desire in life, you are going to inevitably receive. That is a promise. That's a natural law that we're living under today. That you will never learn that in school. You will never learn that in any school. And actually get the opportunity to put that in practice. That's why we want to change all of this. You only know you. I don't know you. You don't know me. You may think that you know me. I may assume that I know you. But truly, you are the doctor to us when it comes to your life. I am the doctor to you all when it comes to my life. If I sought truths to live according to my purpose, according to my gifts hidden within me, none of you can follow me. I have to teach you. I have to share with you. I have to share with you those gifts. So don't tell me you're going to teach me who I am when you don't even know yourself. And that's why it is so irresponsible for most of us to have been following all these gurus telling you what to do. Nothing wrong with that. For some, it works. But you have to put in so much work. You have to put in effort. Just think about a bird. Try to swim every single day when it's never designed to swim. It's going to be so crazy. It can even die. That's why most of you are super tired every single day. You go to a job, you are amazing at that job. But most of you are on jobs that you hate. You are on jobs that just make you sick. Some of you say that this job is killing me because it really is killing you. So we want you to stop and actually Get in touch with yourself. Become who you are meant to become. Share us with your gifts, with your fruits. And I guarantee you, if you become who you are meant to be, who you were born to be, everything around you is going to change. Your environment is going to submit to you. All of us, we are going to seek you out for your gifts. The doors to kings and queens all over the world are going to be open for you. By invitations, you're not going to be seeking them. They will be seeking you out. We will be seeking you out. However, if you so choose to remain being who you're not supposed to be, to remain being what the universities have defined you to be, what the title you wear every single day has confirmed you to become, have confirmed you to be, you will stay lost. You will live, but you will not be fully living your own lives. And I submit to you that the minute you test your own self, the minute you test your own gifts, you won't care the title you are going to leave aside. And that's what we want for you to be acquainted with. The university that's going to teach you about yourselves, it's already here with you. But you must choose to take the course of your own life. You must choose to be disciplined and learn your own gifts, nurture your own gifts, serve your gifts. And then everything you so desire will be there. So that's it, folks. This is all that we have for you today. I want to really say I am super grateful to HMG Network and the affiliates for having made this program a reality. We've been cooking this show for a long time, for over 2 to 3 years. But between COVID-19 coming in, between so many other pieces not falling together, we kept on pushing it back. We kept on pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. But we had decided that this year around, we were not going to push this program under the desk again. Because it is critical. It is of such a high importance to our lives, to your lives. So we gotta set the proper priorities for our lives. Because if you have the correct priority or correct priorities, you will actually manage your time better and most efficiently and most effectively. And inevitably, you are going to also yield the fruits that everyone will enjoy eating. So I want to welcome all of you to the family of Afridominion. Come and welcome. Be sure to come and join us whenever you so choose, directly via the Zoom app. And most of you are not familiar with how it works, but we will actually teach you, no worries. This is new to all of you, most of you anyway. But we want to make sure that it becomes something that you are comfortable with. And another thing also, I don't know if I should be sharing this with you or not. However, oftentimes when you have debut shows, these shows are very costly. There is a cost associated with broadcast. There is a cost associated with programming. There is a cost associated with so many people making sure that this thing happen. When you look at the budget that you need to pull up a show that can actually be fruitful. Sometimes you become discouraged because most of the time the budget isn't there. So because of that, we say that if we so choose to become who we're supposed to be, the budget also will be found somehow. And that's why I also humbly want to request each and every one of you who is going to watch, who is watching or who is going to watch the program, who is going to be listening to it. Either be, if you're watching it via social media, YouTube, Facebook, if you're listening to it via a radio station somewhere, or if you're watching us via any of the television stations, we want you to take some time and actually reflect to what it is that we're sharing with you, and reflect with what you want your life to mean long after you are gone. But also look at your family, look at your community at large. See how you can be effective. See how you can be an added value to your communities, to your family, and even yourself. And if your heart tells you to come and join us and support us, we want to welcome you. Because one way or the other, this is going to happen. But there's no better, no sweeter food as the food shared by families. Let's travel together. Let's do it together. So I know we are super rich. We have all the resources that we need. But we have to be able to identify where are those resources. So if you are among those people who have the resources, who've been wanting to see, hey, what can I invest in? I submit to you. Check us out. Check us out. Come and find out what we're doing. And be a blessing to a family, to a community, to your own country. Be the change that you expect, that you want to see in your countries, in your communities, in your family. And become shameless. Do not be ashamed at all. Do not be ashamed. So our promise is that we are going to give you the very best. We are going to be truthful. We are going to be driven by the love. And we are going to be trustworthy in everything that we are going to be doing. And with that, I welcome you. I welcome you with open arms. And come and let's travel together. Come and let's grab the opportunities that this life has to offer together. Come and let's fight the fight we must fight for our own families, our own communities, and our own countries together. Let's inspire. Let's advocate. Let's encourage a complete taking back of Afridominion by the sons, daughters, and descendants of African, for the interest of African people primarily, and then the rest of the world. So with that in mind, guys, I thank you so very much for listening. I thank you so very much for watching. I thank you so very much for being with us today. And it is with pleasure and such a humbling experience to be hanging out with you guys today and to be starting this journey together. Do not forget to subscribe. I almost forgotten, they're reminding me. If you are following this program via social media, YouTube or Facebook, be sure to subscribe. There is a button that reads share, follow, and subscribe. And make sure that you click on the bell too, so that you get to be notified when we have new programs posted, especially that it's going to be pretty much 12 o'clock, 12 to 1:30, Washington, D.C. time every single day, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Fridays. Come and let's learn together. And then let's also meet after the shows. Let's take actions. Let's take projects together. Let's participate in the things that we must participate in. And above all, let's be blessings. Let's become blessings to other people. All right? And with that in mind, I am Freeman Singirankabo with Afridominion. I want to wish all of you a super fantastic day. We will see you tomorrow, and God bless.